health, without mental health, there's no health. Without mental health, there is no health. Without mental health, and so say all of us, there is no health. Without mental health, there is no health. Without mental health, there is no health. Without mental health, and so say all of us. Welcome back to My Matters with Dr. Nubi. We refuse to be disturbed. We refuse. As I said, I always have 3 backup. But somehow, network will overcome. For those of us just joining us, this is your Friday tonic, and that is My Matters with Dr. Nubi. The first 15 minutes thereabout, I've been having a discussion with Tomi Waziri. Tomi Waziri is a young guy who I had to invite today because the topic today is coping with adversities. How do we cope with adversities? And I didn't want to just come and speak theory. I wanted us to listen to him. I wanted us to hear him. I wanted us to understand that if you think you are going through something, then you get to listen to others. Tomi Waziri, to say the least, took part in Work Against Suicide 2 years ago. And yesterday we had Voice Against Suicide, the same program, the 2nd edition. And this was the guy that was moving around, jumping the 1st edition. But this time around, within the space of 2 years, some things happened to him. He was actually robbed on Akpogmo Bridge in Lagos while he was driving Uber, and he was shot in the head at close range. Thank God for some Nigerian policemen and bystanders and the passenger who rushed him to military hospital and from there to Lasut. And right from there, the doctor said to me, "We are sorry, you may never see again." And he said the last person he saw was the man that shot him. But Tomi has always been a lover of mental health in terms of mental health advocacy. And this is somebody that said that he has attempted to commit suicide before, and he had to write a suicide note when he was in school. And it was his mate who was passing by that just said, "Great Tomi." And that's the power of words. Some things we tell people. You don't know, maybe somebody is planning to go and die, and you just say 1 or 2 things that will rejuvenate the person back to life. This person did not know what he has done, but hearing "Great Tomi" made him to stop the suicide. So that means Tomi was, when you talk of high risk of suicide, Tomi was a very high risk person. But despite the adversity, being shot and losing his sight, do you know what it is to have been seen before, and then all of a sudden, over 20 years of your life, and you just see that the only thing you see is darkness? And that is how Tomi lost his sight. But he told us that he did not give up. He told himself that was going to, I don't know, let me try and contact Tomi and see if Tomi can still join me. He has a program by 7, and if Tomi can still join. He said something. He said, "I told myself I was going to bring beauty from my ashes." He said something which even tripped me. When they shot Tomi, even when he was covered with blood, he kept asking his passenger, "Are you all right?" And the guy was like, "What are you saying? You have just been shot and you are asking if I'm all right." Even when he was at Lasut, Tomi will leave his bed and go and be praying and be talking to others and be encouraging them. People knew him on the world. And he was able to do this because he had lovely support. And that's the question I asked him, and he wanted to answer before network yanked us off. Tomi's story is real. Tomi is somebody that is, young like you and I. This is to tell you that adversity You know, knows no status, age, gender, or anything. And how do we cope with adversity? What can be worse to any person than losing your sight in a robbery attack that is meaningless? They wanted his phone and he did not struggle with them. He wanted to give. And then a trigger-happy young boy at close range, through the glass, fired the shot. So this is to tell us that he had every reason to be depressed. He had every reason to be suicidal. I haven't even had history of suicidal behavior before. He had every reason to end it all. But look at it now. Tommy has enjoyed scholarship. Tommy is a trained counselor. Tommy went ahead to marry. If you see Tommy's wife, very beautiful. And I'm happy that he was able to see the wife even before he became blind. You need to see his child. Oh my God. Very adorable. This is to tell you that when you say it is over, it's not actually over. I know Tommy is going places. I see him speaking on CNN. I see him going abroad, talking United Nations Youth Convention. I see Tommy doing a lot. He's a vanguard when you talk about disability. When they wanted to collect my number, Tommy said, I want to be the one to dial your number by myself so that you know that I can die. And I said, 082-5788-6636. And he dialed my number, and I was like, wow. So about the Instagram today, he said, I want to join your Instagram live. And I said, how do we